Hello, guys. All right, today is Monday the 5th, and we have some notes up here. So today we had our CFA for reading. I want to say, and I told everybody, don't get on to me if I'm wrong, but I want to say it's our last one for the school year. So make sure that you get that completed if you were absent today. Then this afternoon we had some online practice time and some asynchronous work. So I'll talk about that here in a second. So let's get started with math. Oh, and first, actually, let me take this one off because I don't know what, this was not the one that I meant to copy. I think I clicked the wrong thing or something. Anyways, all week is robotics week. So the 3rd through the 11th, I believe. Yep, the 3rd through the 11th is robotics week. And so throughout the week for morning meeting, we're going to be talking about some different things. So today we talked about the importance of it. And Wednesday we'll talk about some careers and what it's like to be in that field. And then Thursday and Friday, we'll do some fun coding with Hour of Code and then Scratch. So let's get started with math. So in math today, we started practicing finding the area of a rectangle. And we went to Seesaw. And in Seesaw, there is a week 30 math area and perimeter assignment here. So go ahead, open that up. And we started off with this area and perimeter video, so you could click to watch that. And then we talked about how to calculate the area of rectangles. We're going to count the unit squares. And then to find perimeter, we're going to add up the side length. So we have formulas that we use. So we took some notes from the video. So after you watch the video, make sure you pay attention to the video part when it says area is the space inside. So that's talking about, like, if this is this patch of land right here, all of this area inside is the area. And we find that by multiplying the length times the width. Perimeter, like we learned last week, is the space around that shape. So you have to add up all the sides. So take your notes on that. On page 2, we worked on 12.4, page 427. So go ahead, open up your book to that. All right, 427. So 12.4 model area formulas. So this formula, length times width, we kept going back to that formula and referencing that. So we talked about this part right here, you can read through, and we talked about how when we're finding area, we're looking for these square units. So if we're talking about the area inside, we remember back from last year when we talked about arrays, we look at the length, we look at the width, and we multiply that together, and that gives us the space inside, or the area. So here, if the length is 5 units and the width is 3 units, then when we multiply that together, we get 15 square units. Here, 3 by 3, multiply that. Now, this is a square, so instead of saying length times width, you can say side by side, but it means the same thing. You're still doing the length and the width. So if you just remember length times width, you will still get that same answer. But squares are all the same sides. That's why it says side times side. But 9 square units on that one. Here on page 428, we went through here. Again, referencing that formula. So here we counted, we said, okay, if there's 6 across and 2 down, and that would be 6 times 2, which is 12 square units. So we just showed what that would look like. Same thing here, 2 by 2 would be 4 square units. When you put in the square units, you can put SQ to abbreviate, or you can go ahead and write the whole thing out. All right, here we got into some bigger numbers. So this one, I've got 11 by 13. And it doesn't matter, you could put 13 by 11, 11 by 13. Either way, when you multiply that out, and here's our work that we showed there, either way, you're going to still get that 143 square units. Down here, we didn't multiply them all the way out. We were just practicing using that formula. So we were looking at the lengths and the widths and plugging those in. So if area equals length times width, we went ahead and plugged in the numbers that we would be multiplying. So in order to find the area, we'd have to take it one step further and actually multiply those out. Then we went to our notebook. Grab mine. All right, so in our notebook, all right, at the top we titled it perimeter and area. Here's an example of a shape where we found the perimeter and the area. So again, perimeter, go back to the formula, add all the sides up. So we added all the sides and got 16. Area, length times width, multiply that out, and we get 15 square units. Down here, we were talking about some examples of when we would find area and when we would find perimeter. So area, since it's the whole thing, so if I have a shape and I'm talking about this whole thing here, I could be painting a wall, I could be laying down carpet or some kind of flooring. You're thinking about that, all that space inside. Versus perimeter, I'm talking about trim, I'm talking about border, I'm talking about all the way, excuse me, all the way around. Okay, so trim, border, a fence, add up all those sides. All right, then all of those book pages, we took a photo of our completed work and we put that on page 2. So here's page 427. Here's page 428. So upload those 2 pages once you finish the work. And then on page 3, this is your independent work. So you're going to page 431. And you've got questions 1 through 10. So on this part right here, this is going to be your page of completed work. Now, if you used your whiteboard or if you used a piece of paper or whatever you use to multiply your numbers out, because if you look at it, some of these, when you go to multiply them, these are 2-digit by 2-digit problems. So you may not have enough space in this little area here. You may need to use your whiteboard or your math notebook or something like that. So I want to see you, I want to see that you multiply that out. I do not want you using a calculator. We were talking about the importance of learning how to do this ourselves. We cannot go to 5th grade and expect that we're just going to keep using a calculator. We have to know how to multiply 2-digit by 2 digits and 2-digit by 1 digit and so on. So we have to know how to do that by hand. So make sure I want to, help hold you accountable. So I want to see that work, all your work where you did your problems, put it right here, and then your answers go here. So on the first one, you're finding the area, so you're just going to put whatever 6 times 3 is, and you just put your answer there. All right, let me resolve this. All right, that was math. When you are done with that, please try to get in your 15 minutes of ST Math. And let me make sure we got everything there. Yep. All right, small group today we reviewed angles on the whiteboard. And all right, reading. Reading, we did CFA 5B and AWARE. We had several people who missed and needed to do makeups on Unit 6. So make sure, finish up your CFAs. When you log into AWARE, you should not see anything in there that says CFA. If you do, maybe you were absent or something like that to where you might have missed it. Make sure all of those are cleared out of your AWARE and that those are all complete. We started our book club today. So if you go into Google Classroom, and you go down under week 30, there is a book club topic here, and you click on the one that says Fudgemania Worksheets, and you click on this, And you have to go up here to the top and you have to click Open with Google Slides. When you do that, let me open up mine. All right, when you do that, now you'll be able to type into the document. So if you don't click the Open with Google Slides, then you're not going to be able to type in it. So make sure you do that one little step. On page 1, you're going to put in your name, and then it says before reading. So it says title of the book, author, and you can zoom in if you can't see it. Zoom in and make it bigger. So title of the book, author, have you read anything by this author before? If so, what was it? And then we took a look at the front cover. Okay, so here's the front cover, and then also the back cover. The back cover says Peter Hatcher can't catch a break. His little brother Fudge, the 5-year-old human hurricane, has big plans to marry Peter's sworn enemy, Sheila Tubman. That alone would be enough to ruin Peter's summer. But now his parents have decided to rent a summer home next door to Sheila, the Cootie Queen's house. Peter will be trapped with Fudge and Sheila for 3 whole weeks. So, looking at the front and the back cover, it says, what hints do you think that it gives about the story? Here's the one for the back cover. So fill in everywhere it's in blue. That's where you're typing. And then it says, based on the front and back covers, do you want to read the book? Why or why not? Then when you go to page 3, this is all about Judy Blume. Page 3. All right, so here it says, what do you already know about her? We said that she's a famous author. She's written lots of books for kids. We had some questions about that we wanted to find out. So we wanted to know if she was still alive and what other types of books does she like to write. Then we went over to Epic. And Epic has, you can see on the agenda here, this is the book we read. So if you go to Epic and log into your account, and you type in Judy Blume, it comes up right here, and go down to the part that says books. And this is the book that we read about her. So let me go back to page 1. All right, so Judy Blume, praised for capturing what it means to be a young teen. Judy Blume excelled as a children's author. So you can read this about her. It talks about when she was young and kind of, how she really didn't feel like she felt in and how she became an author. And at first she wasn't successful and she went back, she took some classes and worked on strengthening her writing. And then her first book really, or not her first, well, I don't remember if it was her first book or not, but one of her books really caught on, and that kind of was her start to, being so popular. And she's still continuing to write. So we looked at that. So you can read that book in Epic, and then go back here. So it says, after researching, what did you learn? So we learned that, yes, she's still alive and that she writes books for kids that are about growing up, what it's like growing up. And then, oh my goodness, I keep clicking the wrong thing. All right. Where did you get your information? Epic, Judy Blume. All right. So that book right there. And then go back to the agenda. So we did the read aloud, and then we read that book. We did pages 1 through 3. We did our CFA makeups, and then I'm going to record chapters 1. What did we read? We read 1. We left off at 3. So we read chapters 1 and 2. So I'll record those on a different recording. So make sure you listen to those so you can follow along with the book. Writing, we worked on an activity called test prep, and that is in your Seesaw. If you go down, or sorry, not test prep, writing prep. Let me fix that. Writing prep. All right. So writing prep, open it up. All right, so the first thing, we were helping the ones that are coming in tomorrow for their star. We were helping them get ready and, showing some support and cheering them on because they're going to be representing our class. So I wanted to show them what 1,750 characters looks like. So I got as close as I could. This is 1,746. And so this is about how much you're able to write. And so we went through here, we read through it, so you can read through this, and we looked at the different parts. So we found the introduction, the body, the conclusion, we found that central idea, these main ideas, and we were going back and just talking about the different parts and where they need to be. And so you can highlight those and find those and read my example. And this is the same prompt that you guys did last week. So if there's something, I want you to go back and look at yours. If there's something missing from yours, like if you did not give examples of why this is promoting good health. So, like, here were my 3 reasons about eating healthy. I said it provides vitamins and nutrients, it keeps your body weight in a healthy range, it helps prevent cancers and diseases. And so, those were my reasons of why it's promoting why it's promoting good health. Then you can't just say that, you have to explain what you mean. So make sure, go back to yours and look. After you said that, like after I said our bodies require a certain amount of vitamins and nutrients to keep us moving, did you just stop and go on to your next reason, or did you fully explain what you mean by that? So go back and look at yours. And then the next couple sheets here are just some reminders. So you can flip through and read those because they're good reminders for everybody. And then page 6 we did not get to. Page 7 is your assignment for tomorrow if you are not taking STAR. So I will explain that in another video as well. So make sure you tune into that. All right, so I'm going to hit draft on this. And then I'm going to go back to the agenda and go to science. So in science, we continue talking about mixtures and solutions, and we went to the beach. And so here, if you look, Monday, science, separating mixtures and solutions, click on this website. And we're going to look at this pail, and inside this pail, they've got a mixture of all sorts of things. Let me get my science notebook. So inside the pail, they have sand, fish hooks, rocks, shells, wood, gravel. They've got all kinds of stuff. So in your notebook, go ahead and draw this pail that they're going to use. So title it Mixtures at the Beach. So there's rocks, there's little pieces. Gravel is just like little pebbles, like little rocks. Wood, fish hooks, shells, sand. So here's a mixture because we've got 2 or more different things coming together, and they're all keeping their same property. When we mix all this stuff together, it's not creating something new. The sand is still the sand. The fish hook is still the fish hook. It doesn't, you're not recreating something. So pause the video and make sure you get that part. And then let's watch this.
Hooray! We're going to the beach for a field trip. The ocean water and other substances on the shoreline can create all kinds of mixtures. On this field trip, we will separate mixtures that we scoop up with a big bucket. In the bucket, we have gravel, sand, water, rocks and shells, wood, and steel objects. Here are some tools we can use to separate this mixture. Let's get started. Click on a tool to separate the fish hooks from the mixture.
All right, so we went through here and we decided on tools that would be good to separate the items. So I'll let you do that activity on your own. I don't want to give it all away, but let me just show you. So I'll cover my answers here. So we took the object and then we wrote on there what tool it was that we used to separate the object. So record that in your notebook. So the fish hooks, we were able to use the magnet because because it's the fish hooks were made of steel, so the magnet was attracted to those, so that made it easy. So when you click on the tool, here's what happens.
Great job! Magnets attract steel, so we can separate those objects from the rest of the mixture. We still have gravel, wood, sand, rocks and shells, and water. Let's keep separating. How can we separate the wood from this mixture? Click on a tool to separate the mixture.
All right, so you're going to go through and separate all of these different things. So the fish hook, the wood, the shells in the rock, the gravel, the sand, and then the salt from the water. So you're separating all those things. So when you're thinking about what tool would be appropriate to separate, to be able to use to separate it, I want you thinking about the properties. So here with the fish hook, we knew that because of the material, that material would be attracted to the magnet, and that's why we use that particular tool to use this to separate the fish hooks. So think about the properties of that, the density. Think about magnetism. Think about the shapes, the colors, the material that it's made of, the size, all of those things when you're considering what tool would be appropriate. So this is you've got the large screen, the small screen. This is a evaporation bowl here, or pan or dish. I forget what they call it. I think they call it evaporation dish. You've got coffee filters, and then this is a container full of water. So work through that, and then record that in your notebook. And then that was for science. And then for social studies today, this is where we went asynchronous. And so everybody that was not testing, they logged off and should have worked on their social studies. The article and the questions for today, they should have worked on that. And then there's a video here on citizenship. So make sure you have that completed. And then the rest of us, we did the STAR online program. There are practice tests and tutorials that we went over. So those, okay, sorry, had to pause. That was what we did at the end of the day. So we practiced using the program that we'll use for STAR tomorrow. And then everybody virtual had STEAM today. So make sure you check out the assignment and that you completed that. And tomorrow, we got a lot going on tomorrow. So tomorrow there is no Zoom. Okay, I'm not going to turn on the Zoom. There is no morning meeting. There is no Zoom with the class. Everything, if you are virtual and you're not taking the STAR test, everything is all going to be asynchronous. So we have a writing STAR test tomorrow. So tutorials are canceled this week for STAR testing. No Zoom. You're going to follow the agenda and complete the assignments asynchronous. You have to make sure that you log in through your Launchpad to be able to get into Google Classroom and Seesaw. I need that for attendance purposes. Okay, so if you log into Launchpad and you complete your assignments through through Launchpad, Launchpad communicates with Skyward and helps with attendance. If it does not register your attendance, I'll go in and I will check. And so if I see a student and it says that they've been marked absent, and I will go in and I will make sure. And so in order to make sure, I have to see evidence of engagement. So did you log into your assignments that are on the agenda? Did you go in and did you complete what you need to complete? And actually, let me take this. I just noticed. That's not going to happen. So did you go in and did you complete your assignments? I need to see evidence that you did that in order to count you present. Okay, so I'm going to record another video talking about what to do on Tuesday, and I'll put it right up here at the top so you'll know what's expected for tomorrow. All right, I will see you guys, my virtual ones on Wednesday and my ones coming in for STAR. I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.